Hello, everybody. So excited to be here this evening. I'm Dr. Clevenger. I'm a chiropractor from Iowa here in the United States. I specialize in pediatrics and nutrition's always been my jam. I love everything about it. And so I am so excited that you are here tonight. And for the people that have invited you here tonight, I am happy for you to learn about these six amazing products from three. We're going to have an expert here. We're going to hear some testimonials because I think it's so important as we share these products with everybody, for everybody to learn about the importance of them and what people are seeing and what people are finding. I often say, I came for the products, but I stayed for the business. A company is only as good as its products. And in over 2 decades of full time practice, I was able to experience all kinds of products, all kinds of nutraceuticals, everything. I could send something in and I could try whatever I wanted, what I thought was the best of the best. And then I learned about something very important: absorption. So you can take the highest quality products, you can take the greatest ingredient, the most organic, the most best sourcing, and you can take it. But unless you actually absorb it, you're really not doing in your body any good. So that is what sets three apart. That's why I came here. I came here because I wanted to be a part of something, of products and a company where they were making a difference. Because when people are taking these products and people are able to actually absorb them, they've been life changing. We often call it life giving within our team. So I'm excited for everybody. Um, I am so excited to introduce my expert that is joining us this evening. It's Dr. Tammy Watkins. She is also here from Iowa. I've known her my entire career. We learned, we kind of grew up in our individual careers together. But what I knew of her is she had a really high bar for ingredients, a lot like I did. She had high standards. And when I learned about this company, she was actually one of the first people that I reached out to. I wanted to share these products with her and have her see what I was starting to see happen within myself and my family and the people that I knew that were taking them. And so I reached out to her and she was a little hesitant. I'm going to be honest. She was. But then I don't want to take away her story, but then she learned about the science. She learned about what sets three apart from anything else on the market. And well, I'll let her tell the rest of the story. So, Dr. Tammy, if you could, there you are. Welcome tonight. I'm so excited you're here. I don't want to steal your thunder, but I just want everybody to understand Dr. Tammy and her husband are very well known providers in our community and really throughout the Midwest. Everybody knows who Dr. Tammy is. And that was one of the things, like I said, one of the reasons I wanted to reach out to her, because I wanted her to see and hear about these products. So, Dr. Tammy, if you would share with us who you are, where you're from, what made you choose really your profession. Let's start there.
Okay, that sounds great. Thanks so much for having me. It's a great honor to be on here with you and to share these amazing products with the world. What a blessing. My name is Tammy Watkins, and I am from the Des Moines, Iowa area. I am a pediatric and prenatal chiropractor, and then my husband and I also have a functional medicine and IV nutrition clinic here in the area. And so proactive health has really been something that we've always been passionate about for our family and in our own individual lives, and certainly what we educate and empower patients to do who embark on their health journeys with us as well. And so we spend our days talking about why it matters to make the choices that we make with our time, with our food, and with the things that we take and put in and on our body. And so we have 4 kiddos and homeschool them and are just at a really busy, fun stage in life, and have very few opportunities to add extra things onto the plate. But when I was introduced to something as amazing as this, had to work it into our schedule, and it's been great ever since.
So why 3? I know the answer, and I'm so excited for you to share it because I think it's so important to know for people to understand somebody busy like you know, 4 kids, homeschooling, already running 2 businesses, very busy mom. Why would you choose to add this in? What is it about it that made you say yes?
Yeah, that's a great question. So like you had mentioned, Dr. Alicia, I was very hesitant at first. I fully respected and knew your bar was just as high as mine, but was just really hesitant for 2 reasons: to add something, just like you mentioned, onto my plate, to have something else to learn, to have something else to dive deep into, because when I do something, I just can't do it halfway. And so once I was able to hear the information and learn what it was about, it was really hard for me not to do that. As resistant as I tried to be, and resistance that I hit just from the busyness of life, once I started introducing these products, especially to patients, and some of the patients who had had the most tricky times with supplements, and just like you had mentioned, we've had exposure and have tried multiple different supplement lines. And there were a few women that came to mind immediately that I thought, I really want to try these and see how these work with some women. And it really gave them hope. It allowed them to dream again because they felt better again. And after that, I couldn't not share the product with people. We'd been carrying different lines in our offices, and I hadn't been open to the thought of adding an additional line. And once I saw the gift that this was to those women, I could not. And that story has continued to play out over and over and over for multiple women in our clinic, but also friends and family members. And I just couldn't not share. So it becomes easy conversation when I get questions daily, almost via text or email or phone conversations, asking for suggestions to just incorporate this in. I think one of the best things I love is, because I'm busy, I'm only able to practice about 1 day a week. And that doesn't allow me to reach as many people as I would love to reach for health and for wellness and for proactive care. This has given me a platform to do that, and I'm so grateful.
That's awesome. So then you use these products with patients, but you also are building a business and sharing these products really with everybody as well, right?
Yes, something I swore I would never do. And it's been amazing.
Been amazing. Okay. So I have to ask, what is your favorite product?
Oh, I hate this question because they're all so good, but I would have to say Vitalite. As a busy mom, I have always been really tired at night. And I've also always wished for the gift of time. I think most busy moms do often say, I wish I had a little bit more time in my day. And even since I was a teenager, I had a really hard time functioning, even driving, working, anything beyond around 8 o'clock at night. And within my first 30 days, my first packet of taking Vitalite, I found myself being most productive between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. And that was a game changer for me. So I can't live without it.
It is the gift of time, right? So Vitalite is our product that is our multivitamin, but I honestly don't even like to call it that because it's so much more. It has all those superfoods and superfruits and enzymes and probiotics and gut health. But that is one of the biggest things I hear, is that I have more energy from taking that product. And probably it's, wouldn't you say the whole foods, but isn't it the delivery too?
Absolutely. And I think that is the thing that stands above the test of anything else that we've carried over time, just like you hit on: absorption, absorption, absorption. It continually comes back to that, because patients have been taking great things for a really long time. They're making really great intentional health choices. They just haven't been absorbing the things they had been taking like this. And so we hear the same thing: great improvements in their energy levels, in their digestive system, all sorts of fantastic benefits, because they're finally getting the things that their body was deficient in, and on a regular basis. It's so easy to comply with. I would say that's another thing that stands out about these products for us in our practice, especially. People get better because of the absorption and because it's easier to be compliant.
There's so many people taking so many different things and opening all these bottles a day and loading up these little things. And it's just so easy. 6 easy products that make a difference individually, but I also think synergistically, the way they work together.
Yes. And especially for busy moms, I tell them, as long as weather allows for it to stay in your car, to keep that packet in your car. If you're in your car half as much as I am, I know that's a consistent place I'll be. And so it's so nice to be able to have 6 bottles worth of supplements that I was taking before in an easy pouch, take it, and then reap the benefits all day long from that.
Yeah, absolutely. I also call them husband friendly because I can give him the packet and he's on his way out the door. But that is huge. A lot of people struggle to be compliant. And so I think that that's a big, big deal. So Vitalite is your favorite product. What's the product that kind of surprised you? Like you were like, I'm not sure, but it's like, wow, this is way bigger than I thought.
Gosh, great questions. I feel like I could answer all of them, but what comes to mind first and pretty quickly is the collagen. Same for the same reasons you've mentioned. I feel like collagen, I know collagen is everywhere. I feel like you can find it all different places. We had been really particular to find a good source of collagen that I had been using for a long time, and I knew I could tell a little bit when I hadn't taken that one, but once I started taking Three's collagen, within the first 10-day cycle, I noticed changes I had never noticed before. And so I was growing hair in along my hairline. My nails were so much stronger. My joints, especially in my knees, were that kind of crickety noise when I would do squats and work out. That started to reduce pretty quickly within that first time. I would say that surprised me the most, especially since I had been taking a really good collagen source before, but again, I just wasn't absorbing it the way that I'm absorbing this collagen now. And I was blown away by the results in such a short time.
That's the collagen is what got my husband running again, or the collagen product, which is huge. One more question I just want to touch on, because I know you've talked about this before. So I want everybody to hear. There are some people out there and some people we encounter who think, oh, I don't need to take supplements. Supplements are something that I need to take. I get everything from my food and things like that. Could you address that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a fair question, especially if people are being really intentional about what they're doing in their day. But the fact of the matter is we just can't avoid the toxic world that we live in. I would say our family is really intentional about what we put on our skin, what we use for household cleaners, certainly what we put in our body, but we can't avoid for our children and for ourselves what we're drinking at the drinking fountain at school, the air that we're being exposed to. Even the good food that we're eating isn't always what it used to be. Most of the time, it isn't what it used to be. So what used to be very nutrient dense still has nutrients, but not anywhere near the capacity that it did. In our area, our air quality lately has been visibly affected. And so no matter how many air filters we have in our house, no matter all of the things we're doing for our quality of water at home, being part of a functioning unit in this world and out into the community, there's things we just can't avoid. And there's going to be gaps in our nutrition and in the things that we need in order to function at our best. And there's no better way, in my opinion, to get it in than something that's a whole food, really well absorbed product to make up for those exposures that we just can't avoid.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's so important. And it is such a thing that when people start taking this, they start to see, oh, I really was deficient there and I didn't realize it.
And that was surprising to me for that reason. I wear EMF bracelets. We do all the things in our house and we have water filters. So I didn't anticipate that I would feel such a difference with taking a different line of supplements, and to take these and feel such a difference was something I wasn't expecting, and a fantastic surprise.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to bring on our friends with testimonials tonight. We're going to, I think, be able to hit on all 6 products that Three offers, but I'll just cover them very quickly for people that are wanting to hear. So we have our Vitalite. So when somebody talks about that, that is that multivitamin. It's the one that gives the foundational, it covers those foundational gaps and gives us all that basic nutrition. We have our collagen that Dr. Tammy talked about. We have an Eternal product, which is cellular health repair. We often will say anti-aging. We have an immune product for supporting the immune system. We have an anti-inflammatory product called Revive, good for agility, flexibility, mobility, and keeping inflammation down. And then we have a product called Purify, which is a daily detox that pulls the excess junk. It's great with that air quality, pulls that out of the system and helps keep that toxic load low. So those are the 6, and we're going to touch on those. So first up, we have Lisa Holubowski from Missouri. So if you could join us. Hi. Don't have her video. There you are.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So I'd love it if you could share a little bit about who you are, what you do, where you're from.
Yes.
And then I'd love to hear your story about 3 and why you love these products.
Yes. My name is Lisa Holubowski. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. My background is in nursing and medical device sales. I was a float pool nurse at a level 1 trauma center. So you name it, I've done it in the nursing field. I come from a medical background. My dad practiced internal medicine for 47 years, and my sister is still currently practicing internal medicine. So I definitely understand the science behind the products we have here at 3. I wanted to first mention homeostasis in the gut, because I am a true believer that once our guts hit homeostasis, our bodies function the way that they are supposed to. So for example, if you line up 10 humans, each one has their own issues that they're dealing with on a daily basis individually, but once they absorb the correct nutrients, their gut hits homeostasis and functions correctly. Our bodies cannot absorb everything they need to function properly from only foods. Like Dr. Tammy was just saying, all humans need supplementation in addition to the foods we eat. And not just any supplements, we need supplements that are actually absorbed, which is what we have here at 3. I'm married with 4 children. Our oldest, Jack, is 18, Molly's 16, Annie's 14, and Luke is 11. And first, I want to share kind of like the ailments that I had going on before starting 3. So first, I was always tired in the afternoons, feeling like I had no energy. And I always needed a cup of coffee to get me through the day, whether it was driving the kids around or just doing whatever I needed to do. So that was my first. I was just more tired than I wanted to be at the age of 46. That's how old I am. And then second, I've always been a morning person, and I was just not waking up feeling rested in the mornings, which obviously means I wasn't sleeping well. So I didn't like that either. Third, I have a torn right hip labrum, and I have left thumb joint arthritis from a previous injury that they just said over time develops into arthritis as we age. So I would say on a daily basis, my right hip, the pain scale of 1 to 10, my right hip was probably an 8, 9 out of 10 every day. By the end of the day, my thumb joint was probably about a 7 or 8 out of 10 on the pain scale. So that's where I was with that. My torn hip labrum did not prevent me from working out. It hurt me at rest, laying in bed, sitting in a chair for dinner, driving in a car, sitting on the bleachers, watching any of my kids' sports activities, standing in a stationary position, just talking. So it did not prevent me from working out, but it prevented me at rest, or it hurt me at rest. And that's when it gave me like just aching, throbbing pain. So, and then my left thumb joint prevented me from picking up a glass, doing push-ups at the gym, using it to text. Anytime my husband would go to touch my hand, I had to remind him to be careful. So those were like my things that I kind of complained about. So then I started 3, all 6 products, and 6 days into taking all 6 products, it was 12:30 a.m. on a Sunday night. I was laying in bed on my right hip, which I never could do before without pain. And I was just talking to my husband, and all of a sudden I thought to myself, it was like 2 minutes into laying, and I usually would have to turn. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't feel the pain. And so what do you think I did? I went right away to grab my left thumb to press on it. And I was like, oh my gosh, my thumb didn't hurt at all. And so I couldn't believe it. I mean, that was obviously, no, I did not expect that. So I would So if I want to talk about like what I would attribute the products with the things that I had going on, I would say that my increased energy level I would attribute it to the Vitalite. And ever since I started Vitalite, I'd never have thought of having coffee in the afternoons anymore. If I miss my Vitalite, I definitely notice a difference, and I for sure get tired. Sleeping better and feeling more rested, in the mornings, I attribute to Vitalite and Purify. My right hip and left thumb pain, I attribute to Revive, Eternal, and Collagen. And then I didn't talk really a lot about immune, but we all need immune to stay healthy and keep us away from all the sicknesses. And the last thing I want to mention is my oldest son, Jack, who's 18. He's a D1 baseball player at Mizzou, and he started all 6 products, and he swears by them. He will tell you that he has his energy is significantly increased, and he's religious. He takes them every day. He never forgets. But if for some reason he did forget, he would tell you he noticed. So he notices increase in energy. He says he sleeps better. His recovery from workouts is a lot better. He doesn't get as sore. He recovers quicker. He's not as swollen. His inflammation is down. So
that's huge.
Is my testimony.
Teenager tell you to have your teenager, as I'm a mom of teenagers, Tommy's a mom of teenagers too, to have the teenager tell you anything like that, like I notice a difference, that's a big deal, right? How awesome for him that he can do that and play that level of athletics, which is awesome. Tammy, did you have anything you wanted to add about anything what she was talking about?
I just love how all of the products work together as this really beautiful system that, Lisa mentioned she started taking all 6 of them together, and they really are designed so beautifully. I love the thought behind that they work so well as a system to target different areas that are the most common areas of concern and base of dis-ease in the body. And so I love that that congruent facet of the 6 together. So amazing.
And I always wonder, like, if that's what's happening on the outside, right? Like if that's what's happening for somebody like Lisa, who you talk about your hip, or you talk about some of these different things, if that's what's happening, that you can notice what's happening inside at that cellular level that you don't notice, that you don't know that's going on. You're giving your body that gift of high absorbing nutrients to do what it's intended to do, which I think is awesome. So thank you, Alicia, for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We're going to move on next to Renee Schulte, who is joining us. And Renee's story is one of my favorites. I love hearing her talk because if it's okay, I will just say, I remember talking to Renee for the first time, and she had bottles of things, and she was looking at all she's like, I take all of this every day. And I said, how do you feel, Renee? And she's like, not great.
Not great.
And I said, all right, Renee, let's go. And so she said, if this helps me and I notice a change, I will tell everybody I know.
That's right.
And Renee is now doing that.
That's
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell us about you, who you are, where you're from, and your life now with 3.
Yeah, so my name is Renee Schulte. I too am from Iowa. I'm a behavioral health consultant, and so I work in creating systems for behavioral health on the mental health spectrum. And so what a lot of people don't know about me, I was born really crooked spine. I had one foot pressed up all the way into a leg and the other one turned all the way around the wrong direction. So they thought I would never walk. And I was in braces between my feet as a baby and had special shoes because my feet were as wide as they were long. And so I've had years and years of problems with alignment. And as you can guess, if you're born that way, you have challenges in your hips and your back and your leg adjustments. And so I've used all the things. And she's not kidding. I had a box, but I also had specialists and people and everybody on my team, right, to help me walk my whole life. And so I have done everything. And by the time I met everybody, I just wasn't comfortable. I was taking extra medications to sleep at night. I just was hurting a lot and really had a struggle. And so I only started with 3 products, and we'll talk about that. I started in April. I started with 3 products. I started with Revive, Eternal, and Purify. So I had just started the products, and I got to go to my parents' house to load a dumpster for Easter, 20-yard dumpster. And at the end of this day, I could barely stand up. I looked like a little old lady. I was all hitched over. Everything just was miserable. So I reached out and I said, okay, how much of this stuff can I take? Because it's going to work or it's not, right? 24 hours later, normally would be at least a week, 24 hours upright. And I'm like texting going, oh my gosh, this stuff works. I was just freaking out because, wow, it was amazing the difference. And I worked my tail off. I hurt. And then I didn't. And I was like, what? This is weird. And I didn't have to take anything extra for that. That's crazy. So normally that would have been a really long process. And it turned out to be not that long. But on top of that, if that's not cool enough, I have found all sorts of other cool things with these products. I don't need those extra products to sleep anymore. I too recover. I'm a long distance bike rider. I have a recumbent trike. That's a 3-wheel trike. I named Rhonda because, you have to have a little help me, Rhonda, to go up the hills, right? And it's powered by me 100%, and it's heavy and it's a lot of work. And I can do it, and I can recover quick. And I also found I'm less upset about heat. I am more tolerant of heat. I used to get really good size heat headaches and stuff. If I teach water classes on a deck and get really hot and would get headaches, I don't anymore. I also found I've really light colored freckly skin that will, look like a tomato if I forget sunscreen. That doesn't happen anymore. And on top of that, I figured out I had better breath. Who knew? I just smell better as a person. And I attribute every last bit of this to 3. And so I love these products. I feel better than I have in over a decade. And so, yeah, I tell everybody because I actually feel obligated to do so because so many people out there are struggling and they need to know there's a choice. And I didn't want to sell anything like Tammy. I am super busy. I did not have time for all of this, but I just feel like people ought to know. And it's changed my life. And so I'm just grateful to be here. Thanks for having me tonight.
I'm so glad you're here. It's so fun because every couple of weeks I get a text from you and you're like, guess what else I noticed? Guess what else I noticed? Like as time goes on and she continues these products, she just keeps seeing the differences. The other thing is the first time you messaged me about Rhonda, I was like, who the heck is Rhonda? It took me a minute, and then it's like, Rhonda's the bike.
Rhonda's the bike. Yeah. Rhonda's the bike.
Tammy, could you help break down for us? You talked about not getting red as a tomato with sunburn and things like that. What product and why?
Yeah, I would say very likely some great benefit from taking Eternel and the products within there that are really helping her process the toxic response that we have from too much sun. Her body is able to utilize that in a healthy way and not have the damage from it. It does a fantastic job, Eternel, of neutralizing damage to our cells and to our body. And so I would say that is likely a heavy hitter for her in that realm.
And then the breath. People are
going to, yes.
Why does she have better breath from her supplements?
And that is likely has a hand in a few different things, the better that her body is able to detox. And so with Purify in there, allowing her body to get the things out that it should be. And also by the Vitalite, the gut support that is in there to help create a better gut biome. Our oral health is a huge indicator of our gut health. And so with healing support from the products that are in there targeted to a healthier gut, likely those two are making a very good change and a good shift in the disproportion her body had balance wise.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I love it. And I can't wait. We'll probably have you back again in 6 months and you'll have a whole new set of stories for us, Renee.
You bet. I've tried new things since then. So can't wait to see you again.
There you go, Renee. Bye-bye. And our last testimonial tonight is Susannah Lautensleger. So I'm so excited for her to join us. She is a nurse like Lisa. And so she also has a high bar for ingredients. So I'm excited you're here tonight. If you can share with us, tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and why you love 3.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm Susannah Lautensleger. I'm an RN from Des Moines, Iowa, also a mom to 2 busy little girls. And I'm also very active in the yoga community here. But earlier this year, I was overworked and exhausted. So as a family, we decided to pack everything up and move to South America to travel full time. So, overnight, I became a stay-at-home mom for the first time ever in a new country. It was wild, but luckily before I left, my good friend introduced me to 3, and I brought Vitalite with me. This one little packet replaced bottles and bottles of supplements that I would have brought with me. And in turn, I received energy to play with my kids, to keep up with them. I had a balanced mood, good sleep, all good things when trying to homeschool or be a stay-at-home mom. I loved it so much. I was sold, and it was just the best to travel with. Now, fast forward to us coming back to the States, and I was all in. I wanted the other 5 products, and I wanted them immediately. And after I started taking them, it was just like Vitalite. Like, the results just kept rolling in. My digestion improved. My bloating disappeared completely, which I thought I was going to look 4 months pregnant for the rest of my life. And I'm 43 and my children are 6 and 8. So springtime came, and my usual itchy, watery eyes and constant sneezing wasn't even a blip on the map. Didn't happen. I no longer had discomfort in my feet or my knees, and I could run again. I haven't run in years. And I recovered from it. I wasn't in discomfort after I ran either. It was crazy. But the biggest thing was walking past the mirror and seeing this glow. Blown away, absolutely blown away, because I am the person that over the last few decades has purchased every single product to try and fix the dark circles under my eyes or cover them up. And nothing has worked, nothing, until I did one 10-day cycle of collagen, and poof, they were gone. So to say that I'm thrilled to have these products in my life and my family's life is a major understatement. I just love them all. I'm going to take them forever.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, so much people aren't realizing that so much of what is going on the inside determines what the outside is. Like you said, you tried all the potions and cream and all the things to get the dark circles, and 10 days of putting the right nutrients into your body, the right collagen, gone. Right.
Amazing. Yeah.
It's huge. I've been able to watch your transition as it's gone, and the glow in your skin is huge. The whites of your eyes are so bright. There's a huge correlation between liver health and the whites of the eyes and things like that, which are so many products, whether it's the glutathione and Eternal or the detoxifiers and Purify. And I love that you're moving again. When people get moving again, that's huge, right?
Changes their life.
You're right. It changes people's lives when they have the ability to move. I think that is something for so long when we've been in practice. We all know this. And when you were a nurse, you practiced with the geriatric population. Mm-hmm. So you know that movement is key, but it's so hard for so many, between inflammation, weight, all the things. And so that's been so great for these. What I've seen in these products is it gives the ability for people to move again, to be able to have that mobility to do things. And when they start doing those and taking those steps forward into being active, it's like a hamster wheel you can't get off of. It starts to build on itself, right? So Tammy, do you have anything else from what she said that you wanted to add?
I just thought it was really fascinating and interesting to listen to everybody's testimonials, and how it seems as though people mentioned they started taking the products for one reason, and they started to notice results for so many different other things that they weren't targeting initially. And that's really health in a nutshell, right? It's peeling back the layers. It's decreasing inflammation. It's figuring out that tier of stress on the body that's happened time after time after time. And how amazing is it that they start with one target goal, but so many of those other layers are being healed because they're getting the things their bodies need to heal that they just weren't able to do before. It's fascinating.
It is. It is. And again, it goes back to, if in 10 days, her circles were better under her eyes, what's happening inside that we can't see. And that's what I love about it. So
100%.
Thank you for being here, sharing your story, sharing your glow with everybody out there. I want to thank all our guests tonight. I hope that you learned something, picked up on something new, thought of somebody. You think, oh, I thought of somebody who has dark circles, right? Or I thought of somebody who had trouble biking like Renee, or I had talked to somebody that struggled with their thumb like Lisa. And that makes you think of, you know what, I might want to reach out to somebody or share these with them. The person that invited you here tonight cared enough for you to hear what these stories, to hear these products and what makes them different from anything else out there. So I want to encourage you to circle back with them. So if you want to learn more, whether it's learn more about the products or learn more about how they're made, all the questions, we have all the answers to those kind of things. It's very transparent. And so I'm excited for you to learn more, circle back with them. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Goodbye.